So are we all over the Queen dying now? Can we all go back to she's dead and buried. Her body's cold. She's dead. Who gets to do the autopsy on the Queen? Oh, that's a job I want to have. That's a job that I wish I had. Hopefully next time when Meghan dies 8 years from now in a horrific car crash, I'd love to be. I need to move to Britain and become a mortician. I've been wasting all day on these fucking goddamn fucking. I've been trying to be good and try not to waste my time, waste my whole fucking day. But I've got all this shit that I need to do and I haven't got fuck all done because I've been watching these goddamn iceberg videos and looking them up on on various bands and musicians and all that sort of thing and being like, whoa, there's these they get conspiratorial at times. I guess sometimes they sort of seem like, they're talking about things that exist, like, hey, unreleased tracks that have leaked, or maybe they haven't. Maybe this album was discussed, but it was never released, or is it coming back, all that sort of thing. I mean, you can imagine, I've been watching the ones with Kanye, and those are, like, very in-depth, because Kanye he's reasonably prolific when it comes to actual released albums, but he's even more prolific with the unreleased shit you just see the evolution of songs from like one unreleased album onto another unreleased album. But looking at all these, it's kind of getting me going. It's kind of getting me to be all conspiratorial as well. I'm like, ooh, yeah. What if? So I was watching some Eminem ones. Actually, no, the Kanye one had like. The Kanye one, I don't know if the Eminem one had it, but the Kanye one had that he died in 2004 with the car crash, so they had to bring in a new Kanye. I don't think that's particularly juicy. I don't think there was anything really to it because that was like before his first album came out, so it's not a big deal, And this is all going back to the Paul McCartney death. What was it, that he died in 64 in a car crash and came back? Fuck, I'm trying to remember that one now because people were saying like, oh, he hasn't got the right nose anymore. Look, he must have fucking, it's just someone else that had plastic surgery to look like him. Doesn't sound anything like him. On this new album, doesn't look like him on the album cover, doesn't sound like him on the record. It's not him at all. He bloody well died. And they're keeping it away from us. The fucking fascist New World Order. But I think people were saying. I remember John Safran going over this in Music Jamboree. You have the backmasking. You know that thing where you reverse lyrics and they're like, "Heard yourself, Paul McCartney died in 1964 in a car crash near Suffolk," and I don't know if this timeline fits up, but that's how Heather lost her leg. Fuck, I don't know. I don't care about the Beatles after they broke up. I don't pay attention to much of their solo work. But anyway, I think there was like on Abbey Road, he's holding a cigarette in the wrong hand. People are like, oh, he's left-handed. Why is he holding it in his right hand? And it's just like because they're taking a photo and they need to see. Or maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, who cares? Yeah, he died and was replaced by a bloody alien. Anyway, yeah, that's what I've been thinking about Eminem. I'm trying to put pieces together, and I should spend more time about it before I talk about it. I was just listening to this Eminem, the King Mathers unreleased album from 2007. So here's what happened. Around that time, okay, Eminem died in 2007. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with this as I go along. So because he did nearly die then, but let's say he actually did die, and they're like, oh shit, we need to get a they had an Eminem replacement on standby, he was there, and they were like, great, we got this guy. All right, we can give him the plastic surgery, do a bit of vocal shit, make him look and sound more like Eminem, and really get like all the freckles in the right place so no one fucks around. So they did that. Or maybe they killed him. I don't know. Maybe they killed Eminem and they're replacing him with this new one. That's always a fun one when they kill someone and replace them with a new one. Was there like an Ariana Grande conspiracy theory around this? Who the fuck was that? I swear it was like some chick. Anyway, so they killed Eminem because he made fun of Hillary too much. And when he came back, he started having more anti-right-wing lyrics. You know, I mean, it did start off to begin with anti-Bush songs. They told him, like, you need to have more anti-right-wing stuff in your lyrics. And he was like, well, fuck, all right, then. So he made Mosh in, like, 5 minutes and improvised all the lines. He was just going, oh, fuck Bush. Wow, this war's bullshit. 9/11, oh, I'm stronger than I was, stronger than Bush. So he did that, and then they were like, that's not good enough, we're just going to kill you. And I don't know, like, they tried to like kill his fellow... They killed Proof. They tried killing 50 Cent various times. They tried shooting Obi Trice in the fucking head, which they did, but he didn't die. And they're like, shit, we're not very good at this. Get someone to do it properly. So they killed Eminem. Eminem comes back with Relapse, and it's not a relapse, it's like a reinvention because it's a whole new... But he has a whole story about, drug overdose and all that sort of thing, and being sober, which is all it's all bullshit. It doesn't matter if the guy's sober or not, because it's not Eminem anyway. And that is the reason why Eminem sucks now. Because the true artist... Maybe he died earlier. I don't know. Because I guess Encore wasn't so great, so... I don't know. Maybe he killed himself, or he drug overdose, or killed. I don't know. Yeah, there's really a lot of holes in this. I'm trying to piece them all together. What I know is that he predicted, or even this clone of Eminem, not a literal clone, but as I mentioned before, like he predicted, or what do you call it? When you like put a reference in for like a later event, when they put like 9/11 and Home Alone or whatever to be like, hey, and then it happens and they're like, hey, we were putting in all these little Easter eggs of the shit that was going to happen later on, That's what he did with the on Bad Guy on Marshall Mathers LP2, where he. I was just looking it up where he says like that line about like Frank Ocean, and then there's a car crash sound, and it was like, oh, it's like links to his brother's death. Yeah, because I was looking at it thinking, I'm talking bullshit, by the way. I don't believe in any of this, but like what the reality of this is that I'm trying to push, that's against what this horseshit that I'm trying to push forward, is that Eminem had this random Frank Ocean lyric. I guess he was just trying to be like, going over my homophobia. Frank Ocean's gay. And his name's Ocean, and the water, and I'm about to hit the water, and he has a song called "Swim in It" or whatever. So he's just like contriving this bloody joke that comes out of nowhere. Or he killed Frank Ocean's brother. Cut the brakes on his. Yeah. Now I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's now I'm going over all like the car crashes and breaks that have been cut in Eminem songs. I can remember two distinctly. One in in that song, obviously, in Love Game with Kendrick Lamar, and in fucking, what was it called? Normal on Kamikaze. Hey, by the way, my review of Kamikaze is coming out soon. I gotta, I don't know, listen to it more before I have a more informed opinion. Anyway, I swear I had more on this conspiracy theory because, I feel like it's all tight. it's as tight as conspiracy theories usually are, and has less bloody Swiss cheese holes in it. That's why Eminem came. Anyway, I love these conspiracy. I love conspiracy. I love a good conspiracy theory. It's good. A nice tale, and there's something creepy, about it. But sometimes it's kind of just like cozy instead. Like if it's all this like elusive stuff. That's why all the Kanye shit, it's a little bit fun, but some of it's like, obviously because of all the leaks that have happened with him and all the almost every like kind of thing you hear about Kanye, like, oh, he did this like however many years ago, and then it's like available on YouTube now, or it just ends up on an album. And then I was going through I was looking at Mandela effects on these icebergs as well, and a lot of it's just kind of dumb, just like, oh, there was a timeline shift, and now, that's the basic premise behind Mandela Effect, is that there was a timeline shift, and we're now living in a whole other thing. I don't think, like, people are like, oh, I thought Bart wore a blue shirt in the show, and it's like, no, you idiots. I was in the marketing and promotion and merchandising. Okay, so here's my Mandela Effect that I have that I feel like has got legs. I think. I don't know. Anyway, here it is. So what? I probably already talked about this before, but fuck you. So when Toy Story came out, I would have been like 4. I remember seeing it in the cinemas. I have distinct memories of like watching it, and my initial memory of the film is that you never saw the faces of the human characters. And I remember thinking like, oh yes, this is great. It puts attention away from the human characters. Who gives a fuck about them? You focus on the toy characters and make them seem more human instead, so that you don't have this. So that you have more of a distinction. That's what I thought in my 4-year-old brain at the time, and I was like, oh yes, it's very. I remember thinking that was good. That was like my criticism of the film was like, that's a good. No, it just worked for the film. And then when I saw it on home video, I was disappointed because I'm like, oh, I can definitely see the faces now. That's weird. Oh, I'm seeing them now. Oh, I thought it was, like Charlie Brown, which I don't believe I had watched at the time. I think this was like the first time I'd ever watched a thing where it like didn't show like the human faces. Like you would only see like Andy from the neck down and just hear him and everything. I thought that's what it was all about. So, my confusion may stem from, obviously you see the faces, like even early on in the film, but there are moments where you kind of, like, you don't often see them, you're kind of hearing them, like when the kids are at the party, and like a lot of the time you don't see their faces. And I do think that's like the animators being like, we're not fucking doing too much with the faces here. Like certain characters, it's just like, try to make sure you don't show their face because we don't want to animate it and blah, blah, blah. So there's that, but, you do see the faces. So, yeah, since then, I thought, oh, well, then fuck me then, whatever. I should go fuck myself, have a bad memory. Even at a young age, I was smoking too much weed then. But now I've been thinking, there's a Mandela Effect. And I don't think this is to do with a timeline shift. Here's the thing. So each fucking Toy Story film, all 4 of them have had troubled productions, which has ended up in like the storyline midway through animation changing, therefore changing a whole slew of production and animation, and that fucks everyone. So, yeah, and including the first one. And the first one was, radically changed? Yeah, sure, why not? It was changed to make Woody seem like more sympathetic because he seemed like more of a villain and an arsehole. That he was like very much antagonistic. So my theory is that like, and each of these films were rushed into the cinemas. So my theory is that they were so rushed for time, they were like, they did think, fuck the human characters, we're not showing their faces, we don't have time to animate that kind of crap, and yeah, so we're not focusing on that. So they ditched kind of like, the models for their faces and their heads in general, I suppose. Got the film out into cinemas, and that's what I saw. I saw the film with everyone else in the cinema and all the other screenings they had. That was the one. And then later on, I don't know when, before it was released for home video, they were like, oh, we have a bit of time to just... And you know what? These models aren't looking too bad. If we just worked on them for a few more weeks, we could get it right. And then they did. And so they just released onto home video that version. They're like, the film turned out to be a smash. And, this is actually what we wanted to do all along. So let's bring in the human faces again. And that's what they did. That's the truth. Or it was a timeline shift. Like, after I left the cinema, I went, and I went through a timeline bloody thing. And when the film came out on video, I was like, everyone, what's going on? Why do they have faces now? I can see the human faces. I was very upset when I found out about that. And so, speaking of bad CGI, I watched Air Force One yesterday, and fuck me, man. Like, I think I gotta say, the effects in the film are good. Like, the action scenes are exciting, and there are moments where they're not using CGI, they're doing whatever other effects, and it all holds together pretty damn well. And then it cuts to like a big wide shot of like the plane, the Air Force One, and all the fighter jets around it and whatever. And for that one shot, you're like, oh, I kept laughing every time it came up, but it was pissing me off, man. I was like, stop, just get rid of it or fucking redo it, man. You think, like, goddamn, man, I swear to God, like, there are people out there listening right now. Out of the hundreds of thousands of listeners that I have, there's bound to be a few that could do effects on their own better than that. I reckon I could do better by now. Fucking dreadful, man. The fucking... what the fuck was their problem? What the fuck was their problem? They could have... I guess miniatures or models, like, wouldn't have worked as well. They should have just done a bit more, like, compositing. Like, getting actual footage and, like, piecing it all together. I think that would have not looked as great, but it just would have been better than this horse shit that we're subjected to. God damn. Some of the worst CGI ever seen in a major motion picture. And I mean, CGI wasn't that bad if you were pretty liberal with it, like, you know, Jurassic Park and Starship Troopers and The Abyss before, but they were like, and Terminator 2, but they were like, you know, first of all, a combination of the both, and they kind of like worked around it, you know? Because that's actual filmmaking, bitch. I mean, otherwise the rest of the film is fun. Because, you know, like the way they have to choose their shots, they can't just be like, oh, let's just get a big close-up of a dinosaur. Like, you know, they got to kind of mask it a bit. I suppose you can see that in Jurassic Park with the raptors. Not raptors. You know when they're running through the open land? Like a bunch of dinosaurs are just running along. And you're like, oh, that's CGI. I can tell right now. But there's, you know, a lot of the other moments in the film, it's like the way it's shot, the way it's like concealed by like shadows and everything. And just the general nature of dinosaurs, I suppose, because we don't know what they look like. So we're just like, oh, yes, that would be them. But yeah, this whole like, plane flying through the sky, CGI, even at night was just all pretty terrible. And there were some moments where you see planes explode in it. And I was expecting explosions to just be like, like a crap. You're like, oh no, it's a real explosion. I can see that's a composited explosion. Well done. That looks fine. Because goddamn, would even nowadays CGI fire is a whole bunch of bullshit. I just remembered I bought some caramel mousse cake. I've got it in the freezer right now. God damn, I can't wait to get into that. Oh man, I'm so excited. So yeah, the film itself, I like the premise. I like some of the scenes in it, like when shit first goes down, you're like, yeah, get him, shoot him in the head, fucking president, piece of shit. Even though the president in that film is supposed to, I don't know. You know what? Yeah, I didn't dig the script too much because, like, even at the start, the president gives this speech, and it's just it's a typical bullshit speech. I was just watching it, being like, he's just like, we must put an end to this evil. Like, he's not going over anything specific. It's just very platitudinal. And then everyone in the room applauds, and I'm like, is this supposed to be satirical? Because this is, that's good satire, I guess. Because yeah, you do have a president being out there saying like that kind of talk that's just completely vague and just like, oh yeah, evil must be stopped, you know, and everyone's like, oh wow, it's amazing. See, he's a good guy. So I thought, but no, it might be. It does seem to be legit. It doesn't have like a Starship Troopers like where it's right on the line, although still very much satirical without having to hit you too much with it and not, you know, breaking. So no, it's not satirical, and I was like, oh, fuck all these characters then. But when the shit goes down, I enjoyed that whole, like, I think the film's kind of technically well made. I was thinking, even early on, like the music in this is good. I like the music. It's very like it really works. It's really like amps it up and gives it some oomph. Even like very early on, where it has like very presidential music in the opening credits. Like immediately, I was like, I dig it, and it really works for the film. I think it's pretty good. And then I found out that I believe it was Randy Newman was going to do a score, and then he did, and they got rid of it. They didn't like it entirely, so some of it got used for Toy Story 3, and then I think it was Jerry Goldsmith was brought in to do a score in like 2 weeks or whatever, and he was like, fuck, that was exhausting, I'm never doing that again. Jesus Christ, I almost had a heart attack from all this shit. My blood pressure's it's sky high, bloody hell. It's just higher than bloody Air Force One. But I gotta say, man, for throwing it all together in a quick amount of time, well done. I wish if that's the case, then I bet the screenplay took 8 years to write because it's bullshit. They should have just written it real quick, real shit. The screenplay is just... It's a well edited. I like the sound effects. It's got like a punch to it. I think it's somewhat thrilling and everything, and it's a good premise as well. The problem is that a lot of it's bullcrap. It's just very superfluous at times. Like you got these. Like it seems like a very tight, hectic, rushed situation. Whether everyone should be like, where's the president? Give me the president. I need to kill him. Oh, we need this guy. Get him in out of jail. Come on, quick. And the film's like that at times. Like when it cuts back to the vice president back in the White House. I think the film is mostly like that. There's no times where they're like, we must stand against evil. This evil that is occurring. We must get the president off the plane right now before evil takes over. Like it's a bit. It wasn't like that, but some of the characters on the plane are acting like that. I mean, particularly Gary Oldman. He's very like, "Ooh, I'm a Russian." I can't do a Russian accent. I'm the Russian accent. I'm He's just saying that kind of thing. He's just saying, "You Americans, you never realize that Russians are much better. We know how to shoot and kill, and we are very, I will kill everyone in there. No, don't matter who it is. I am evil, and I have a gun, and I am wasting time." You'd think he'd just be a bit more to the point. It's just a bit. There's a bit too much of the theatrics. It's just a bit like that. I was watching it at times, and when the action gets going and you have these like set pieces where it's like we got to get the thing in the thing, it's exciting aside from the fucking CGI. But yeah, there are times where he's just like kind of dragging it out, and I was kind of thinking if this were I was imagining in my head a more Paul Greengrass kind of approach to it all, where it's like United 93, where it's a bit more just docudrama and people are talking in a more realistic manner, because I don't mind a blockbuster film in particular, like not having realistic dialogue and being very showy and movie-like and being like, "You are a movie, and I will now say the movie line in a movie way. I'm Jim Carrey. Oh, I'm the president of the United States. Oh no, Air Force One has been overtaken by Russian terrorists. Oh, scary, gotta get to the pod. Where's my wife and kids? Where's my wife and kids? Oh, it's on TV right now. Scabbaloo. I don't know why. I just think that this film deserved a bit more of a realistic approach. Even though the whole film was bullshit anyway. Even from the start, you're just like, oh, how could they? Like when they parachute in and they halo in, they sneak into the, what was it, Kazakhstan embassy? And kidnap a guy. Yeah, I don't know. I was just watching that scene thinking, oh yeah, whatever, go on with it. But I was thinking it would be just way fucking harder now. And I think this is why action films suck now, and that they can't even make them anymore, really. That's why they have to make a superhero movie where it's just like, I use my brain to wipe out all the, AI algorithmic, sensors that are around. So if anyone tries to halo jump anywhere around here, it'll be immediately detected and shot down. But I'll just use my mind powers to, contrive this plot fuckery. So that's why, yeah. I mean, they couldn't even do it back then. They couldn't actually do it in this film, but they did. Yeah, I'm really bad with like, and I'm still bad with like, watching a movie and being like, oh, could they do that? Because because when shit goes down in Air Force One, they bring the guys in, and it's like, where did they get the fingerprints to get on the plane and everything? And the one of the guys opens up a compartment with like these guns, and so they immediately like rush over and grab the guns and start like putting on these Kevlar vests and then start shooting people. I was like, oh yeah, well, maybe nowadays they wouldn't. I guess it kind of looked like that gun compartment was like kind of out in the open. They'd have it like in a whole other thing. You need to like put the two keys in and twist them at the same time, and then call the vice president and call this person and that person to get access and all that. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe you need them immediately. I don't know. But not really the greatest, best film. Fucking hell, man. That CGI, man. It brought it down. It just brought it down. Like, fucking hell, man. I mean, I like Wolfgang Peterson. He's made some cool films, but I mean, that CGI was shit, man. It was just, you could have just, I don't know. It's just not good. I guess it's just not good shot choices where it just kept cutting back to like the planes flying around the Air Force One, and you're like, you should have worked this better. And it's fucking inane that like nowadays, obviously, look, you think like, oh, if they were to do that CGI nowadays, it'd look fine. You could get a 14-year-old bloody guy to do it on his own and it'd look better. You could make it look really good. But films these days that have these kinds of aerial effects, they're done for real a lot of the time. You're like, oh, cool, good on you. Like Mission Impossible had like a real Halo jump in it. Iron Man 3 had a bit where like everyone gets thrown out of a plane and they need to like put on the parachutes as they're flying down, and it's like that's a lot of that's real. A lot of it's really done. And then there's Top Gun Maverick, like that had all of that shit. I don't know. To me, a lot of it looked real. I was like, God, is this done in like a green screen or like with what the fuck is it called now? Those sets they have where it's not a green screen, they have like a projection, like not a rear projection, but some kind of projection. I forget what the fuck what it's called, but anyway, yeah. I mean, yeah, they look better, but they're also done for real, which couldn't you have done that back then? I mean, I suppose the first Top Gun had better effects. Oh man, I mean, I suppose miniatures would have been pretty rough. The fucking CGI is rough, so what are you going to do? I mean, what looks worse? And then you get to the end. The good old ending. I think I've talked about this, like, with bad CGI. And I finally watched the movie, and I finally got to the ending. And watching it in HD, I was just thinking, yeah, this looks bad. But is it that bad? Maybe it's not that bad. It's pretty... I just get my expectations were so low. I was just thinking, this looks bad, but it's not... it could be worse. I don't know. Maybe it looked worse. Maybe I've just watched that scene so many times where at the end, spoilers, the plane hits the water, and it just looks fucking dreadful, man. I guess water effects are not gonna do well either, and the plane just, oh god damn it, man, it could have looked good. It could have looked good if the film came out even just 10 years later, you fucks. Or if you just don't show that at all, and not, I mean, that's supposed to be like the climactic shot of the fucking movie, and who gives a fuck? Also, like how at the end, like it's one of those films where, like, it just ends. Like the president gets off the plane and he's like, and it's all very convenient as well. It's very fucking convenient. Like everything goes well for him. I guess. Well, I guess he had a bunch of co-workers die, but even at the end, like you have like the commanding chief. Commander, the guy, William H. Macy, and this guy and that guy, they all get shot, and he's like, no, oh no. And some of the fighter jet pilots die, and like these other people. But like and they're characters. They are characters who are like, who seem very, righteous and honorable in their job, in their service to the president and the country, and they die in that service. And at the end of the film, the president's just like, all right, I'm gonna go home and fuck my woman. We're gonna make a new kid of the White House, whatever the fuck you call kids in the White House. Yeah, it just ends kind of abruptly, like, who gives a fuck about all those people that died? Yeah, and the whole bargain with the terrorists on the plane is that they want this guy released from prison, who's like a general. He used to be a general, I guess, and he was like, abetting all these terrorist attacks and whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know. The film doesn't like make too much. It doesn't get into the details too much. And the guy who was on the plane that double crossed, apparently there was like more written about him, and they were just like, he just double crossed the president. How? Why did he do that? It's just, whatever. It's just paid. He's a Russian, whatever. I don't know. He just somehow got there. I mean, I don't even. I don't know. How do you get that kind of job and be like, yes, I got the job. Fuck yeah, I'm getting on Air Force One with the president. That's good because I'm going to be instrumental in hijacking the plane with these guys. Fuck yeah, we got it. And now you guys are getting on plane to act as journalists. Yes, good. It all went to plan. I mean, I guess it didn't in the end. It all went to the president's plan. So anyway, this Russian general who gets released, it's like he releases him, but then like very quickly unreleases him. Very quickly gets back on the phone and it's like, no, don't. I changed my mind. It's okay. I'm not going to get shot in the head if I don't go through with this. It's okay. No, put it back in. So it's a weird scene where he's leaving the prison and then they're like, stop right there. And then he just runs and gets shot and dies, and that's it. Fuck you. It's like the president's like, yes, he didn't get released. In fact, he's dead now, and I'm alive, and I can go home and fuck the first lady. Yeah, all right. I'm a true American, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, not a bad film, I don't know, a little. I don't know. Yeah, some good scenes, some good kind of thrilling scenes or whatever. And once I finished watching it, I just started looking at some of these other disaster movies, like Independence Day. I was like, oh yeah, let's get to the bit where the thing explodes, where everything explodes. I'm remembering, like, I watched that, like, the bit where the UFOs come in, they start blowing shit up. So that whole sequence ends, and I remember how it ends, and it's kind of a meme, I guess, where like that Will Smith's wife is like she's so stupid, like she hides away from a bloody explosion or whatever, and then she's like, the dog, come over here, Wolfer, and the dog like runs over and it's like, yeah, the dog won't die, and that's like, and like the dog surviving is how the whole set piece ends, the whole sequence, like, and then it like fades to black and then like comes back in and it's like, oh my god, look at all this destruction. Oh, imagine a film about 9/11. The towers collapse and it's like, it's been this whole big thing all morning and it's like, oh my god, it's like the collapse, smoke's going everywhere and someone runs away and goes into an alley. They're like, oh no, Woofer. Rover, come over here. And Rover like jumps in and like, and then it like, fades to black and comes back in and it's like, oh my god, the towers are the towers are gone. The Twin Towers. Oh my god. So I saw that and I was like, ha ha ha. Oh no, the doggerito. You can't kill the dog. You can have all these people, particularly men, I guess, just like having cars flipped on them and everything, and that's fun. That's good to watch. You can't have kids, I suppose. And especially dogs, you can be a little bit like, ooh, the dog almost died. Ah, no, the dog's all right. You're gonna see the dog at the end of the film. We're like, I didn't know what was going on this whole time. I don't know what the world is. I didn't even know it was ending. So then, like, pretty much once that ended, I got out the movie and then I see Volcano and I'm like, I've never watched that movie. I always remember it as a kid, but like I didn't watch it. I'll do the exact same thing. It's like the exact same fucking, like, skip forward, go to like the exact same like 28-minute mark in the movie where it's like shit's really starting to go down, the volcano's coming out and whatever. And I saw the same thing. What was it? Oh yeah, it's like in this neighborhood and all these houses are getting fucked up and there's this woman like, oh, my dog's still in the house, ah! And it cuts to a dog being like, roar, roar. And the lava comes in through the front door and the dog's like, roar. And I'm watching it thinking, I can't believe, like, I think I had a split second thought where I'm like, oh no, the dog's gonna get burnt alive by this fucking lava. Nah, I started laughing. I was like, wow, it's the same fucking thing. And the dog's like barking at the lava and like not running away. And then it grabs its bone, it grabs its little treat bone and runs out the back. And the woman's like, oh, woofa, you survived. No, he picked up his bone before he ran away. He took his toy. Oh, so cute. Oh no, don't kill the dog. See, that's the problem with Paul Greengrass. Is like in the Bourne movies, you know, you have all these dogs dying. They just shoot a dog. I always hated that in Splinter Cell. You had to kill a dog. I was like, oh, why can't you just knock him out? I think you can. I think that, yeah, maybe they get revived, like when you knock out a guard. Well, what's fucked? There's like, I saw another movie that had like a dog thing in it. True Lies. I'm too exhausted to talk about that film. Maybe I'll talk about it later. But there's like a bit near the start where Arnold's like, oh, he's like a covert officer sneaking in a Russian Kazakhstan, whatever. And he, as he's escaping, and there's people shooting at him and whatever. And he's doing the whole thing. It's like, it's the beginning of the film. He's not just going to get shot and die. And it's a 90s movie. And the film is so like cool and casual. And he's just like doing these one-liners as he's killing these people. And like these two dogs run up to him from behind as he's running away. He turns around and smacks both their heads together. And he goes, stay. And it's like, one-liners aren't particularly cheesy or really that great in that film. But anyway, you know. And then he runs away, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a fun way to, like, knock out the dogs or whatever. Then this is fucked. It shows a shot of the dogs not knocked out, not dead, like, just up. They're getting up and being like, they're not moving. Like, what the Maybe they got disorientated? But that makes me think, like, he literally said stay, and now they're like, oh, we'll stay. I don't know, that's kind of weird. I don't know. It seems, to me it feels like when they did test screening? And one of the like, executive producers was like, oh, those dogs die. Oh, I don't want the hecking wolferinos to die. Oh, the dogarinos. And it's like, oh, they just got knocked out. But I guess we have to show that the dogs didn't die because you can't kill dogs in a fucking movie. Anyway, that was a good movie. That was a very like I'm saying, like it's a very dumb movie and it's very movie-like, and you're like, as you're watching it, as I was watching it, I was thinking, I am here watching a movie. This is a movie that I am watching, which is fine. That's what it is. It's a blockbuster film, and it can do that. And it had like, yeah, as I'm saying, like a cool, casual, like, ooh, just kill that guy. I'm gonna kill that guy, and that whole thing, and like being a badass and all that. You know, being a Schwarzenegger movie, that's fine. I did think it was kind of stupid at the end when, like, I think this is like basically the very end of the climax, but like when he's trying to get his wife out the limousine, but like the driver got shot, so he's just like driving this car towards like the bombed out bridge, and it's like, oh no, it's gonna fall off the bridge, oh, and he has to like fly the helicopter and grab his wife out of the limousine, and I'm thinking, can't you just go into the front seat, move the dead guy, and put on the brakes, and then the helicopter can land and take you out? I know, like, it's a movie. I know it needs to be exciting and have the bit where he takes her out just as a car falls off and explodes and whatever. I'm thinking, like, if there was something in the way, like a bulletproof thing, like a window in front, yeah, that would have worked. Because the guy got shot in the head. Let's say it's not bulletproof, whatever. So it's not bulletproof. There's just a regular window there. The gun goes off. It hit the guy, the driver of the limousine in the head. But Jamie Lee can't get through the window, like you can't move it, I guess. She's just hanging out the sunroof. You still think, like, you could just... Fuck it, no, you can't. I'm trying to think, like, you get out the sunroof and then you go through the front window. But does she have a gun? Whatever, she's just a dumb bitch. She's just a stupid woman. Fucking useless. Literally at the end, she's like, oh, help, I'm a damsel in distress. Oh, Arnold, shave me. Shave me. You look like you've already been shaved, you fucking... Yeah, I don't find it hot. Anyway, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, I always wondered, like, I knew there was a scene where she's, like, strip teasing, you know, and, yeah, and I used to see, like, ads about it in, like, because when I never saw this film like on TV. It seems like the kind of film that would show all the time on Channel 10, and then I never fucking saw it. But I remember the ads where she's like stripping, and I was like, ew, fuck, I can see a penis through that, you know. And I always thought, like, in the film, it's literally just the film stops and she's just like, yo, Arnold, let me give you a striptease, and that's it. But watching in the film, I saw, like, oh, this is like a story, not even really a story moment, but like a character moment where he's like, he wants her to, like, have more excitement, so he does this. I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah, he wants her to, and even she wants to as well. She wants to, like, kind of offer up the sex to him and, like, have like kind of this like not that she knows that it's him, but like she's going through with it. I don't know, I can't remember. I can't remember the context. I just remember reading that some of the female film critics actually liked it and said that it was, you know, very empowering. Actually, you know, she's during that scene, because she's not just like, you know, you can see that she's getting into it because she wants to, like, appear sexy in front of him. But yeah. But then I saw a review of the film by Margaret Pomeranz, and she was like, nah, this is bullshit. So whatever. Hey, I guess shows the different opinions on the thing. Anyway, this has been the David Morgan Brown experience. Oh, I forgot to talk about this Louis C.K. fucking situation. God damn it. So on the last episode, I was talking about how I got I was like, oh, I got to go to Melbourne to, like, go see Louis C.K. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I got to spend hundreds of dollars on this bullshit now. I think I talked about how my friend said the same thing. Like, I was mentioning it to him, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll buy a ticket for that. Just randomly. It's like, all right, let's go to Melbourne. And I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, we're going to have a holiday, you know. But I'm still like, oh, fuck it. It's expensive for me. It's going to take up my whole bank account. I did email Louis. I just sent back a thing saying, hey, you know, it'd be cool if you could come to Perth as well. That would be great. I'd love to see you here. And then he sends a fucking email saying he's added a Perth show. And I'm like, oh, you cocksucker. You cockshower. Motherfucker. So... yeah, so I immediately bought a ticket for that in, like, a better seat, like, more front row. And I'm like, all right, cool. But fuck, I still have my Melbourne ticket. Luckily, I haven't bought fucking airplane tickets, goddammit. So I have this ticket that's, like, nearly $100 that I gotta flog. So if anyone wants it, I'll sell it to you for $1 less than I paid for it. So, no, you know what? I'm getting my fucking money back. I'm getting my fucking money back from the ticket thing. I'm getting my money back from Louis C.K. Who's going to be like, oh, shit, sorry, David, I got to send you this thing. Yeah, with who it is with for. What a sentence. Yeah, I emailed the ticket place and I explained my situation. And they sent me an email. What the fuck did it say? They said, as the ticketing agent for this event, we're required to escalate your request for consideration. We will be in touch as soon as we receive a confirmation on the outcome of your inquiry. Don't just give me my money. Give me my fucking money back. I paid a ticket for an event that I had to pay for that one, but now circumstances have changed. And I'm fucked, and there's been a timeline shift, and I'm like, oh fuck, now there is a Perth show. Oh wait, no, the whole thing, Mandela Effect. I gotta get my fucking money back now. God damn it! If I fucking bet it, but if I can't, and my mate can't as well. God damn it! I feel guilty. I talked him into it. Fuck. So I'm glad, like, I don't have to go to Melbourne now. I'm glad I can just drive there and drive back and have a good time at the show. But fuck, and I got better seats now, but I got to deal with this kerfuffle. And I mean, how am I going to sell this? Am I going to sell this goddamn ticket? How? Yeah, I don't know. Nah, fuck, whatever, goddamn it. I'll figure it out. I'll fucking figure it out, goddamn it. I've always got to fucking do this. I always get fucked over and I get put into these fuck situations and I'm just like, yeah, well, whatever. I'll just figure it out. Let's fucking figure it out. What do you fucking do? God damn it, Louis C.K., you piece of shit. Fucking. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not going to Melbourne, because fuck Melbourne. Nah, I'd like to go on holiday and get some things done there, but I was planning on just going there for a couple of days and not even leaving my hotel room until I had to go to the show. Anyway, that is everything. So rest in peace, Eminem. This has been the David Boy Brown Experience. Yeah, boy. Brother boy band. Bro Eminem died in a car crash. With Frank Ocean's brother. No, he died in... He saved the president in the Air Force One crash. I don't know, man. I'm tired, man. I'm going to bed. I have another disaster movie I'm going to watch tonight. Titanic, which I haven't seen in a while. I haven't seen it in like 12 years or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, we'll check it out. Maybe. Was there anything else I wanted to say about Volcano? I think there was like a bit in there where I was watching where like the main dude, he's like the dad and his daughter, he's just like holding a teddy bear. Like, it's like she's like 13 or whatever. I don't know. She must be autistic. I don't know. Has generalized anxiety disorder. But she's like standing, I think, on top of a car. And she's like, oh no, the lava's coming towards me. And then like it just surrounds her while she's just standing there like a fucking idiot. Like, oh no, Dad, come save me. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, you damsel in distress. I just stand there and be like, what are you doing standing there letting it happen to you so I can come save you? You thought that was going to happen? Fuck up, bitch. I'm not coming over there now. I'm not getting my Nike Airs ruined. I'm not getting anywhere near that fucking... I mean, and this is happening in the film, but you think like that... Shouldn't they be burning up, being that close to the lava? Don't you think? Oh, and no, she does get burnt by something or the other. And she's like, ow. And then they keep running off. And then they go to a medic person. And she looks just completely calm. No, maybe not completely, but she's just like, oh no, the lava and fucking volcano. Oh. And then there's this medic who's like taking all these people to the hospital. And she's like, I can take her daughter. She has 2nd-degree burns. And I'm like, does she? Which is sure as shit not fucking... She's just not like, my fucking leg, burning out my fucking, God damn, I'm in a whole fucking ton of pain. Give me some fucking ice for this. Give me some icy hot. Give me some dry ice for this damn burn. But no, she's just like, oh, ow, my leg. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting hungry. Oh, man, it's caramel milk. Gotta take it out of the... Oh. My stomach's growling right now. I gotta get in on it now. I'm gonna suck on it like a dick. Suck on that cake like a dick. I bet it's disappointing. Like fucking everything else. Well, not everything's disappointing. Like, I had these like, what is it called? Violet crumble? Like raspberry flavored? But it's the chocolate that's raspberry. And I was eating that. I'm like, oh, yeah, it works. It's cool. You know? Just don't stop getting rid of these snacks, man. Stop. Like if something's good, just leave it. Just leave it in the fucking like these banana Milky Ways and the milkshake Maltesers. And it's like fuck. All these new Kit Kats are coming out. It's like some of them are pretty damn good, but like, can you keep them in the stores, please? I'll keep buying them for fuck's sake.